Alright, here's a question that might make you look at your friends differently. First, picture your best friend. Picture his face, the times that you've had together, got it? Now, if someone went up to you and said, damn, you're a lot like insert your friend's name, would you take that as a compliment? Kinda sucks to say, but for most of my life, it would be, ew, no, I wouldn't want to be like him. And if you relate to this, then this video is for you. I have 3 new rules for friendship, and if you apply these to the friends that you currently have, you'll probably realize that they're not your friends. Rule uno is I like you. I think 90% of my friends in my life have only fallen into category 1, which is I just liked being around them. So this is more of the surface level stuff where it's fun to be around this person, and the way that I explain it is kind of like when you're around this person, every experience, even if it's like a 2 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10 experience, it becomes an 8 out of 10 experience. You could just be chilling or eating food, which is a very normal, everyday, boring thing, but with this person, it suddenly becomes something fun. That's what I call rule 1. I have to like being around this person so much that no matter what, it's a fun time. And so it comes down to like similar music taste, similar humor, maybe they play the same sports as you or they watch the same content, so you know like the same inside jokes, small details like this. And so honestly, I don't want to discount this because it is super important to just vibe with the person. Because think about it, there's a lot of people who are more advanced in self-improvement, who have a lot more money, who are jacked, who get good grades or whatever. But if I just don't click, if I don't vibe with them, they can be as advanced as they want, and I want to be like them, sure, but I can't really tolerate being around them. And so that's category 1. I just enjoy life more with this person. But again, this is the most basic level. Rule numero dos. I want to be like you. And so from I like you to I want to be like you, there's a big difference. This is where most people will probably fall short, because there are people you can enjoy being around, but if you actually look at their life, you wouldn't want to swap lives with them. They're not at the ultimate place that you would like to be at, and they might not even want the things that you want. And this is super important because, for example, if I'm a C student and my friend is a C student, but we both want to be A students, that's fine, because I can still admire him not for his C student status, but I admire him because of his qualities, his ambition, his resilience, his discipline, for him to get from point A to point B, or point C to point A, I guess, because we're using the grades as a, you get the point. And so they don't have to be at the ultimate goal, but if you both have the same goal, then you're both going towards the same place. So your life kind of looks like this. If this is you, then this is them, like my finger and my thumb. You kind of look like this. You're both going towards the same goal. What it looks like for a lot of people is you want different things, and so life looks like this. And you split apart, and you get more distance emotionally, you get more distance in the friendship meaning of the word, and then physically you also distance yourself because you're going to different things, you're doing different things, and that's where the friendship falls apart. And so you become friends with 2 people, who they are today and who they are in the future. Make sure that you want to be like them both, and make sure you like them both. And so what you're probably thinking is like, okay, Ruff, that's great, you're my favorite self-improvement YouTuber and I love your videos, but how do I know what they're going to be like in the future? Well, here's how I would kind of visualize it, right? You probably know enough about your friend that you can probably explain their entire day right now, like their day-to-day life right now, in like a surprising amount of detail. You probably can imagine what they do from 8 to 10 a.m. You might not know, they might not have ever told you, but from your perception of them, you can tell what they do from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You know what time they wake up, you know what foods they eat, you know what content they'll consume, you know what they do in the afternoon, what time they go to bed. And so imagine their full day. You can write this down, and then imagine if you repeat that day again and again over weeks and months and years, that's where they're gonna be. And so I guess the big question is, would you like to end up there? That's for you to decide. Rule number 3, higher standards for me than me. People who see what I'm doing and they not only encourage it, but they're like, oh yeah, I know you can do that. I know you can probably do more than that. Because you don't grow to the standards that you set for yourself, you shrink to the standards that other people have of you. For example, if you are a B student and I put you into a class full of F students, you will subconsciously let your grade go down and down and down because of the standard of the other people around you. You might not think of it right now. You might be like, yeah, that wouldn't happen. I'll just continue to maintain my grade. I'll still try to get better. If you can get a C and everyone around you who are all getting Fs are still like, damn, dude, you're so smart, you got a C, I got an F, I'm fucking stupid. You're gonna just subconsciously let that go down and down because you've allowed yourself to, and they've allowed you to. Compare that if you take a B student, the same B student, and you put that into an A class. Those A players, just by being around them, that A student will influence the B student. Subconsciously, even if he doesn't really care about getting better grades, he sees the average and he sees him and he continues to do better. He will subconsciously work harder. And so the fastest way to get better is just your environment. But the thing is, most people, the way that they try to get you to do better is they're like behind you, poking you with a stick, saying like, oh, just run faster, bro. Do I have a stick? I don't have a stick, I have a hairbrush. Run faster, bro. Compare that to the people who I want to have, which are the people who are running faster than me, saying, dude, catch up. You see the difference, right? And so I want you to remember this. It is not the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That quote is kind of like misleading. It is the 5 people that you compare yourself to. Also known as the 5 people who you use their standards to judge you off of. So for example, if I judge myself based off of Elon Musk, based off of Steve Jobs, Einstein, David Goggins, and I don't know, like Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda, I'm using their standards applying to me. So once I finish a workout, I think, would this meet David Goggins' standard? Probably not. And so I've never met these people, but by using their standards and applying it to my life, I can let them influence me. It's kind of like how you only really like improve your life. You probably found self-improvement online, right? And so those people that you really found value from online, you've never met them, but by listening to them and by using their standards and applying their standards to your life, you've seen real progress in your life without ever meeting these people. And so it's not the 5 people you spend the most time with, because you've never spent time with me. I made a whole video about that. It's the 5 people who you compare yourself to the most. Chapter 2, it is not binary. So here's a little dilemma that I faced, which I think some people in self-improvement have also faced. It's where you feel like, okay, I've made the rules for my friendships. They're set in stone. I carved them into the commandments. I'm going to bring them to the world. That's my rules. And then you realize like you probably have some friends who you've known for quite a while, and they're nice people, but they don't fit all your criteria. But at their core, they're still good people. And so I've heard this question so many times where a guy's like, Ruff, I've known this guy for like 10 years and we used to be best friends and we're still best friends, but they don't really fit my criteria. They fit everything except for one. So if he comes up to me, he asks me like, are you my friend? Should I say yes or no? Should I say no because they're actually not my friend and I hate them? Like, what the fuck? No, bro. I think the issue is that we see it as binary. Either we are friends or we are not friends. But it's more like on a scale of 1 to 100, how good of friends are we, right? Like 1 is completely not friends, 100 is best friends. And so for me, I have the 3 criteria that I just gave you, right? If you fit 1, then you're a friend. If you fit 2, then you are a close friend. If you fit all 3, then you might be my best friend. And so that is the levels of friendship. It's not are you my friend or are you my enemy. It's how good of a friend are you. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And so there's this quote, I still want you to eat, just not at my table. And I think that perfectly summarizes how I feel with people who don't really fit all your criteria. That guy who is actually nice to you, who's a kind person, who just doesn't have the same goals as you, he can still be your friend. He's just not going to sit at your table, and that's okay. Finally, chapter 3, yes, this is transactional. There's going to be some soft motherfucker in the comments that are like, oh, this is so transactional. You have a criteria for your friends. You only want to be friends with people who have achievements and they can serve you. You're so self-serving and selfish, and if you're like that, you're soft. Fuck off. But the second thing I want to say is also, everything is technically transactional. Even the relationships that you have are transactional. And so tell me this, if you always had to give your 100% to a friend, you gave them good feelings and a good experience, that sounds kind of sexual, but you give them a good like time with you, right? But they never gave you anything back. Imagine that, they never gave you anything back. Would you want to continue being friends with them on a long enough time basis? No, right? At some point, you just think, okay, the return on investment on my time is too low, and you'll stop being friends with them. So that shows that if the transaction was only one way, which is from you to them, it would never go on for a prolonged period of time. Meaning, yes, relationships are transactional. You give and you expect to get. Maybe not today, but you expect to get at some point. And you might not get it back in the same way. For example, if I give you a good experience, you might not have to give me back a good experience. You could give me back a gift, and that would be equivalent. But I expect to get something back. If I get nothing back, then I'm not going to continue being friends with the person. And so I think transactional relationship sounds really like inhuman and really uncaring and cold, which is why people don't like the name of it. But if you actually analyze human behavior, then everything is transactional. And so the only problem is seeing it. as a problem. So the final thing that I'll say is that I think everybody has rules for their friends. It's just that some people have them written down and they're more strict. Some people still have them, but they don't have them written down and they're not clear on them. And so they just make friends with anyone. And so let me bring you back to the first question I asked you. Picture your best friend. Picture your friends in your brain right now, their faces, the times that you've had together. After learning the 3 rules that I use for my own life, are they really friends? The best case scenario, are those your friends? Probably not. So here are the 3 rules one last time. I like you, I want to be like you, and you have higher standards for me than me. Go apply those to your friends right now. Create your own rules and take action. Oh, look at that. Oh, you got shot, bruh. Back shot. So yeah, if you want more from me, my free community, first link below or second link, I forget where the link is. It's the one that says free. Obviously, right? It's the free community. Obviously, it'll be the one that is like, give me a kiss. Mwah.